Ahmed, and I'm going to give you a little update on my year abroad here at McGill University. So I applied for accommodation, which is essentially the same process back at UCL, and I got allocated an exchange hall, which is right next to my college, so it's really convenient, and you're seeing a video of that right now. So I would say most of my friends that I've made here are definitely from my accommodation, but the other large chunk of my friends have been made through Frosh, which is essentially McGill's version of Freshers. There were lots of different Froshes that I could do. I could have done the science Frosh, for example, as I'm a science student, but I decided to do the camping Frosh, which involved a lot of hiking. I'm showing you right now some videos of the beautiful scenery that we saw. The price of all the Froshes were all about $200, and this is quite steep. However, I can safely say I've never seen anything this stunning, and so I believe this trip was really worth it. We hiked in an area called Mount Tremblant, and I loved it so much that I decided to go again with some of my accommodation mates, and I'll show you guys a little montage now. Whilst this clip is going on, I want to briefly highlight some massive culture shocks I experienced when coming here. The biggest has got to be the taxes and tip system here. Taxes aren't included in most of the prices in shops, which makes it incredibly hard to know how much you're spending. What you think is a good deal might turn out to be a lot more expensive. Another thing is tips. They're almost mandatory, and it's considered really rude not to give them. Another huge shock was it being around 30 degrees for the first month and a half when I arrived here. As I'm in Canada, I was expecting really cold temperatures, and so I'd packed a lot of the wrong clothing. When coming to McGill, I suggest bringing lots of t-shirts, jeans, but nothing too bulky, as you can always buy more stuff when you're here. I recommend Facebook Marketplace. I've bought lots of jumpers, I bought a pair of Timberland boots, and they're all really reasonably priced. Another recommendation is to get a Canadian debit card as soon as possible. This is as easy as going into a bank and requesting one. This is because lots of shops here don't accept international bank accounts, and you'll have to pay in cash unless you have a Canadian debit card. Whilst I've been here is sign up for the McGill gym. This is about $90 for the entire year, so it's incredibly reasonable. I've also done lots of clubbing. For an experience most similar to London, I highly recommend the Club Unity. I've also been trying to embrace the Canadian culture as much as possible. Whilst I've been here, I've seen a couple of ice hockey games and a couple of lacrosse games. Hasn't been all fun and games though, especially since my grades count for back home. McGill does midterms as opposed to one big final exam, and so I find myself working a lot more than I would back at UCL. Despite this, I've been trying to do as much travelling as I can, as I don't know the next time I'll be around this side of the world. Some highlights are the Niagara Falls and going up a ski lift in America. Just listen to how loud the Niagara Falls are. Before I knew it, it was already December, and I can't stress how cold it gets. It is so essential to get a warm jacket, a good pair of gloves, and a nice woolly hat. That being said, the snow here is absolutely breathtaking, and it makes campus just look that much nicer. Here's a little clip comparing campus before and after the snowfall. Activity I really recommend when it's this cold is ice skating. Here you can see me getting some practice before I can use the lakes, which are public ice rinks. I chose to apply to McGill University because not only is it a world-renowned university, it's also in a part of the world that I've never been to before, and so I really wanted to experience it. I'll now ask a fellow exchange student why they decided to join. So Jenna, why did you decide to join McGill?
Because I really wanted to experience the campus life, and it is also a very well-known university, and it is the Harvard of Canada.